In November 2022, the peaceful university town of Moscow, Idaho, was plunged into chaos and sorrow when the unthinkable happened: the brutal murders of four University of Idaho students. Kaylee Goncalves, Madison Mogen, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin were found lifeless in their off-campus home, casting a long shadow over a community that had always prided itself on its safety. This tale serves as a reminder of the fragility of life and the profound impact of violence on social environments. Kaylee Goncalves, 21, was a senior at the University of Idaho majoring in general studies, passionate about pursuing a career in the field of business or communications. Known for her outgoing personality, Kaylee was beloved by her friends and family alike. She exhibited a zest for life, often seen sharing joyous moments on social media, celebrating milestones, and engaging in local activities that showcased her vibrant character. Her determination to create a positive impact was evident in her contributions to various campus organizations. Madison Mogen, close friend and fellow student Madison Mogen, also 21, shared a deep bond with Kaylee, and together they navigated the challenges and triumphs of college life. Madison was pursuing a career as a radiologic technician and was driven by her desire to help others. Friends described her as compassionate and caring, often putting others' needs before her own. Madison's infectious laughter and love for adventure made her a cherished figure in her social circle. Xana Kernodle, 20, was known for her infectious energy and ambitious pursuit of a degree in marketing. She was described as a social butterfly, someone who thrived in social settings and loved connecting with new people. She was dating Ethan Chapin, a 20-year-old member of the Sigma Chi fraternity, and their relationship was often highlighted on social media, where they documented their adventures together, showcasing a deep affection for one another. Ethan Chapin was dedicated to his studies and extracurricular activities. As a fraternity brother, he embodied the spirit of camaraderie, instilling a sense of brotherhood among his peers. Friends remembered him for his easygoing nature, sense of humor, and the love he showed towards Xana. Together, they shared a bright future, filled with dreams of their careers and the adventures ahead. On the night of November 13, 2022, a sense of normalcy filled the air in Moscow. However, in a secluded off-campus house on King Road, a nightmare unfolded. The four friends had returned home after a long night out. It was early morning when a 911 call was placed by a surviving housemate, who reported an unconscious person. Upon immediate arrival, law enforcement discovered the gruesome scene. Kaylee, Madison, Xana, and Ethan were all found murdered, each one suffering fatal stab wounds. The crime scene was disturbing, and initial investigations suggested that the victims were likely asleep when the attack occurred. The brutality of the incident shocked the community, raising questions about the motivations behind such violence. Mental health professionals and community leaders began addressing the emotional toll of the events as students grappled with their feelings of vulnerability and fear. Investigation begins. The response from the Moscow Police Department was swift and thorough. Task forces were set up, and investigators combed through every detail, conducting interviews with friends, family, and classmates. Moscow residents were urged to stay vigilant as the police worked tirelessly to piece together what had happened that night. As days turned into weeks, the investigation faced challenges, including the absence of definitive leads and the lack of a clear motive. Fear began to loom over the campus as students speculated about the identity of the killer. Online forums and social media platforms buzzed with theories, suggestions, and opinions, complicating the investigation while also serving as a platform for community grief. A breakthrough in the case. In a surprising turn of events, police announced the arrest of Bryan Kohberger, a 28-year-old criminology PhD student based in Pennsylvania, on December 30, 2022. Kohberger's arrest marked a pivotal moment in the case, but many questions remained. Initial reports suggested he had no prior knowledge of the victims. The authorities conducted a thorough investigation into his background, revealing Kohberger's academic interests in criminal psychology and behavior. Critics began to speculate about potential motives, with some suggesting that Kohberger's fascination with crime could have played a role in this tragic incident. Current updates and the ongoing trial. As the prosecution laid out their narrative, The details of how Bryan Kohberger allegedly stalked the victims were particularly chilling. Evidence presented during the trial indicated that he had been spotted near the victim's home on multiple occasions leading up to the murders. Investigators uncovered a story of obsession, suggesting that Kohberger had taken an interest in the young women, exploring their social media profiles and presence online. Furthermore, numerous pieces of evidence, including DNA samples found at the crime scene and cell phone data, suggested that he was not only present at the scene but actively involved in the heinous act that cost 4 lives. The prosecution attempted to paint a picture of a calculated and premeditated crime, focusing on Kohberger's movements in the days and weeks prior to the murders. The emotional testimonies of the families were powerful. During the trial, family members shared heartfelt stories of the victims, painting them not just as statistics in a tragic event, but as beloved sons and daughters, friends, and students with bright futures. The courtroom erupted with emotion when parents recounted their final conversations with their children and expressed their grief over the stolen futures of Kaylee, Madison, Xana, and Ethan. Several aspects of the case provoked widespread public discussion. Social media became a battleground for speculation about Kohberger's potential motivations. True crime enthusiasts debated theories that included elements of obsession, mental illness, and even revenge. As trial proceedings continued, many were captivated not only by the chilling details, but also by the unfolding drama in the courtroom. Impact on the community. While the trial attracted nationwide media coverage, the local community struggled to return to a sense of normalcy. Many students voiced feelings of unease walking through campus. The University of Idaho administration engaged with students to bolster security measures, increasing police presence, and organizing workshops on personal safety. Student-led vigils became common, allowing friends and family to come together to celebrate the lives of the 4 victims. The community organized memorial services, encouraging individuals to share stories, laughter, and tears, fostering an environment of healing through shared grief. Kaylee, Madison, Xana, and Ethan's names became symbols of peace rallying against violence. Not only did their tragic deaths resonate with the Idaho community, but they also sparked a broader conversation nationwide about college safety and mental health support for young adults. This heartbreaking tale of loss unearthed deeper societal issues that deserved attention. The murders raised significant questions about the adequacy of support systems in place for students. Advocacy groups began pushing for enhanced mental health services and awareness programs aimed at college students, emphasizing the importance of addressing not just academic stress, but also the psychological well-being of young adults navigating the complexities of adulthood. In the digital age, where social media can create connections or fuel destructive behaviors, discussions around online safety became relevant. Conversations shifted towards the implications of sharing personal lives online and how it affects young adults' privacy and safety. As the trial progressed, legal experts weighed in on implications for the justice system and the potential outcomes for Kohberger. Charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of burglary, Kohberger faced the possibility of life in prison or even the death penalty if found guilty. Whatever the outcome, the case highlighted the need for ongoing dialogue about not just the failings of law enforcement in the early stages of the investigation, but also the greater societal issue of violence against women and students in America. Advocacy for legislative changes aimed at improving campus security and support networks became prominent as voices were united in honor of the 4 young lives cut short. The Idaho murders remain a poignant reminder of the lasting impact of violence and the fragility of life. The stories of Kaylee Goncalves, Madison Mogen, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin remind us of the joy and promise that was extinguished that fateful night. As the legal system seeks justice for these 4 students, the community of Moscow, Idaho, and beyond continues to process the loss, advocate for change, and honor the memories of those who were taken too soon. In the end, this tale extends beyond the trial and the courtroom. It encapsulates the need for healing, remembrance, and an unwavering commitment to creating a safer world, particularly for young adults navigating their way through the chance of higher education, dreams, and ambitions. As we remember Kaylee, Madison, Xana, and Ethan, we are called to reflect on how we can respond to violence, ensure support for victims, and actively contribute to discussions that foster safer, more inclusive communities. The legacy of these 4 students will not fade away. They will be remembered not just as victims, but as advocates for change within their community, urging society to never forget the importance of safety, empathy, and the sanctity of human life. Their lives may have been tragically cut short, but the hope for a future where no family has to endure such pain drives the conversations that stem from this tragedy.